Hello, fellow human light beings. This is Mahadev the Thunder Wizard. This is the Solar Flash update for July 11th. And we're going to be talking about the dark forces, confused and regrouping. And also, StarSeeds are feeling the darkness of the old 3D matrix as it recedes, getting ready for the new shift on the way. It can be a very confusing time for a lot of people. So this is the Thunder Wizard YouTube channel, the gathering place for all 5D starseeds and light workers. If you're new to the channel, please know how you can best benefit from this channel as well as support it. Subscribe, like, comment, hit the bell button so you can be notified whenever I go live or do upload videos. Do the live interdimensional meditations as often as possible. Those meditations are live streamed every Wednesday and Saturday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Be sure to be there because when you're there live, it has a much more powerful effect. If you can't make it, not a problem. It'll still be recorded. Go and watch them. You can watch them. They're archived under the live tab on your YouTube channel page. You can also follow, like the Path of the Thunder Wizard on Facebook. That's helpful. Share Thunder Wizard YouTube video links and Facebook posts on all of your social media. Subscribe to the thunderwizard.com Patreon site. I appreciate those who subscribe for free. That's a nice gesture. It doesn't do anything for you and it doesn't do anything for the channel. Subscribing at one of the actual levels of subscription gives you access to materials and tools as well as actually helping to keep the channel up and running. Without you, this channel doesn't exist. So also browse the thunderwizard.com shop for advanced practices. If you are going to go to the shop, there's very powerful practices and energy work there. Be sure that you don't use the app. Don't use the Patreon app. It'll just cost you extra money. They charge an unbelievable fee. You go online. So whether it's your phone or your computer, go online and go to Patreon, the thunderwizard.com site through there, not through the app. And please do remember that I do need your support to keep this channel going. It's been challenging. There was a while there where I really just didn't have to worry about the channel. Everything, the channel was really doing well and I was able to support myself easily. It's been a real challenge lately. So just bear in mind, I know everybody's going through tough times, but every person who does something to support the channel on a material level allows me to continue to keep making videos and uploading. I don't want to go be that guy who works at Walmart, that old cranky greeter. So if you want me to keep uploading, I need your support. We've got Reversing Narcissistic Abuse, which you can find at reversenarcabuse.com. And we've got the Quantum Shifting. The free one, number one, is available on the YouTube channel. And the other subsequent Quantum Shifting video courses are available at the shop at thunderwizard.com. All right, so back to the subject. Dark forces are confused and regrouping. Let's start there. So I do believe that the solar flash event is having a very powerful effect on the dark force elites. I really wish I could go into detail on all of the ways that the dark forces are controlling this matrix on so many levels and the levels of depravity and psychopathy that is coming out of them is really beyond imagination. But I can't do that here on YouTube for obvious reasons. So just take my word for it. A lot of really nasty things are going on. And we have been programmed and we have been narcissistically devalued in ways that most people just don't even understand. We're going to talk more and more about that on this channel as time goes on. But the solar flash event has had a significant impact on their ability to do the nasty things that they do. And so they have been severely weakened. I think anybody who's watching what's happening politically can see that they're they're not able to do, they're confused. I mean, if we just look in the United States at the current political climate without taking one side or the other, it's obviously that's very confused. I've never seen anything like this in my life. Never in my life has there ever been a presidential candidate who has to deal with criticism coming from the mainstream media, their own political party, as well as just the average person. I mean, it's never been like this. Never. It's for the dark forces that are trying to control everything, this is a sign there's major cracks in their ability, at the very least, to keep the narrative going. All of the other things that have been introduced over the past few years, which have resulted in less freedom and less safety and less ability to take care of oneself, less access to resources. All of that is really being challenged, even though we're all having a difficult time. Here's the difficult part about when you've got a cornered bear. You've got an injured, cornered bear. It is the most dangerous. But when wild animals are on their last legs, that's when they have nothing left to lose, and they are the most dangerous out there. So don't turn your back. Keep your eyes open. These psychopaths will come up with new plans, and they have plenty, plan B, C, D, E, F, G. They've got plenty of plans that they can initiate to try and keep their narcissistic control over the earth. But they are losing energetically. And I do believe that our meditations are having an impact. My interactions with higher dimensional beings lately have told me that we have made huge impacts energetically just by doing the meditations we've been doing the Hua breath together. So congratulations, you should be happy about that. And for those of you who are new to the channel, according to my interactions with higher dimensional beings, the solar flash event is underway. It began officially in December 21st of 2022. That's when I was told that was the beginning of the solar flash. Now, I'd never heard of this. If you guys have watched my channel, and if you go back, 4 or 5 years, I would never, if somebody had come to me and said that there's this thing called the solar flash event that's going to be shifting everybody up to the next ascended level of awareness, I would have said that's just complete nonsense. I'm not into that new age nonsense, and it's just not my nature to believe in that kind of stuff. The only reason that I do believe it is because I did CE5, which is Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind Protocols. Google it if you don't know what that is. CE5 protocols. I watched Dr. Stephen Greer's movies, and I said, I have to try that. I don't think it sounds like nonsense to me, but I gave it a try. And I didn't give up. I said, I'm going to keep going until I either absolutely debunk this or I prove that it's real to myself. And I proved to myself that it was extremely real, and that opened up a dialogue between me and not only higher dimensional extraterrestrials, but that opened the door for communicating with higher dimensional light beings on all different levels, and completely blew my reality, just destroyed what I thought reality was. So I wasn't looking for this thing, and I had, as you know, a dream, and then I communicated with these light beings, and I said, in the dream what I saw was that there was going to be an event, a worldwide event that would shift everybody up to the next level. And I asked the light beings in meditation, I said, what is this? What is this event? And they said that it was going to be a series of solar waves of love that would hit the earth, penetrate, and shift everything up to the next level. I thought I was making stuff up. I even said so on the channel. I said, solar waves of love, that sounds ridiculous. And people said, no, that's a thing. It's called the solar flash. It's called the event. It's called the ascension. Sure enough, I did some research and found out that there have been people talking about this exact thing, solar energy, not only solar energy, but higher dimensional energy coming from the central black hole of our galaxy, somehow transferred to the sun into the earth. I've made videos telling you that scientists have been saying this. They don't realize they're talking about the solar flash, but there have been scientists who have said that there's levels of radiation that are coming from the planet at a frequency that is impossible for the sun to create. Somehow the sun is transmitting radiation coming from the center of our galaxy. That's the only place the level of this energy can come from. And they're like, we don't know how, but we know that it is. It's coming from the sun, and it's coming somehow from the center of the galaxy. And that's what the New Agers have been saying for 20 years now. So, you know, I wouldn't have believed it if I hadn't have gotten that message and then been confirmed through other sources that, no, that's a real thing. So this has been going on since December of 2022. And the solar waves of love have been having a strong effect on all levels. Now, the ironic thing, we're going to get into the other half of this, StarSeeds feeling the darkness of the old 3D matrix. The ironic thing is that this higher dimensional solar love energy that's penetrating the earth, continuously bombarding it since December of 2022, you would think that what that's going to create is everybody happy and dancing and floating on a cloud, but it's having the opposite effect. And it's making people respond to their unconscious attachments to the old 3D matrix. So we live in this third dimensional matrix. It's a frequency. And the frequency of the third dimension is self-devaluation. That's what the reversenarcabuse.com is all about. If you really want to understand when I'm talking about narcissistic devaluation programming, go and watch this. Go to reversenarcabuse.com and watch that video course, because I go into detail explaining exactly what it is. But it is happening on such a deep unconscious level that people from birth, especially now, as time goes on, it gets worse and worse and worse. People are being programmed unconsciously to devalue themselves. And so that becomes our default unconscious mode of survival. So it's a false survival instinct. Your instinct is to devalue yourself. That's why people love watching violence and horror movies. You want to know why people like watching horror movies and being scared to death? It's because you've been programmed to believe that being afraid, feeling like you're going to be destroyed at any moment, feeling like you don't have any value unless you go and make money or have a perfect body, all of that is programmed into you so that you believe at the core of yourself that you don't have any real lovability, you don't have any value. So the truth is that we have value because we are conscious and we exist. And that is you're not just value, you are lovable. You are absolutely lovable and precious and beautiful because you are a conscious being that exists. But the way to control the world is by telling people that they don't have any value except for what they bring to the machine, what they bring to the state, what they bring to the narrative, to the group. So this is all being challenged. This energy that's hitting the earth is saying the opposite. It's saying you have value because you exist. And the ironic thing is people think they're being attacked, because what's being directly attacked is your belief in what you think keeps you alive. And what you think keeps you alive is your codependence. Codependence is merely trying to get love and approval based on what you do or something superficial about you, instead of receiving the love that you already have simply because you exist. And so this is being eroded, is being cleansed by this energy. So people, ironically, are responding to this love in negative ways. They're angry, they're sensitive, they're frightened. Those people who get their value based on power. Why do you think, think about, just pick any one of the major billionaires that we know of. By the way, the people who have the most money, you don't even know they exist. They have quadrillions of dollars. They have far more money than even the billionaires. The billionaires that you see are actually the go-betweens. And they've been allowed to hold on to their money because they're now part of the club. So, pick your billionaire that you know of that was born, that wasn't born rich. What has happened is that they found some way to make their way in the world. And when they got to a certain level of, having money, guess what? They had secret meetings. And in those meetings, they said, okay, so you can be part of our quadrillionaire club, and we will allow you to be the face of the billionaire class, or one of the faces of the billionaire class. But in order to do that, you have to help us. And it just so turns out that most billionaires are already psychopathic. So they're like, yeah, tell me how to gain more power. Oh, that's how you're controlling the world. Absolutely. So what happens to people like that when this energy hits them is that they become even more greedy. And the fear, think about just any one of the billionaires. How many billions of dollars do you need? I mean, you and I, normal people, if we were to hit a certain level of financial success, we would just go, well, I guess I can stop working. That's what I would do. I mean, if I just literally landed $1 million, if $1 million plopped into my lap, I would go, well, geez, I don't have to work anymore. I can just live off the interest. I can have a nice house and live wherever I want, and I don't have to worry about it. That's what I would do. But billionaires, they have tens, hundreds of billions of dollars, and it's not enough. They still have to get more. That's a sign that there's a huge soul emptiness there. So this energy, as it's hitting them, it's making them even more frightened. It's crazy. It's crazy. When you're that rich, if you just get $1 billion and you want to make $2 billion, there's something wrong with you. Something's broken. So people are responding the opposite to this 3D, to the shift, to the cleansing of the 3D devaluation matrix. And we're also experiencing it just with average people. Now, if you're a starseed, I can tell, what is a starseed? Truth is that every single human being is a potential starseed. The only difference between the dark force elites and the starseeds is that the starseeds have awoken. They've awakened to their own higher dimensional soul nature. And they become aware that, oh, I'm actually a higher dimensional being of light, and I'm actually from another star system, I'm from another galaxy, and I've come to Earth to help bring the ascension. Now, that is actually true for every single human being, but they have to awaken to it. And that is a whole other deal. And people who don't awaken to it, they're still trapped in the matrix. So functionally, they're not starseeds. They're functionally acting as dark force archons. But underneath all of that, there is a soul in there that if they were to become conscious of their light being essence, they would become starseeds. So that means that the starseeds who are awakened, it means that you've gone through some pretty serious awakening process, which is not an easy thing. You've gone through a lot of difficulty. You've experienced a lot of pain. And instead of allowing that to pull you deeper into the matrix, it has actually guided you towards seeking your own divine essence. And because of that, you are now having to probably, have a battle within yourself. So the battle within the starseeds, generally speaking, is that this energy is hitting you, which is you are having to relax into self-love. Your unconscious programmed response is going to be to devalue yourself. So what's happening is that people are flipping out. People are having all kinds of ascension symptoms, which means that they're fighting with their own self-preservation instinct. And it is a real thing. It is a hugely real thing. I'm going through it. I've been going through it this whole time. So if any of you out there think that I'm just, floating on top of things, that's not the case. I've never once have I ever said that I was enlightened or achieved perfection or any of that other guru stuff. Technically, I'm a guru because I'm a teacher, but outside of that, I'm as human as anybody else, and I am doing the work. I teach because it helps me to do the work to continue to let go of that programming. But I have that same thing. I mean, I struggle with it on a daily basis, feeling unlovable, feeling not feeling valuable, and all of the messages that hit, especially if you're like, listen, if you have a ton of money and you don't have to worry about it, you have your own devaluation issues to worry about. And I kind of feel sorry for people who are rich and have a lot of money, and because it creates a whole other kind of psychological issues. But for those of us that have to, we have to put a lot of time and effort into just being able to survive. It's a constant pressure to feel valuable in the world, because, look, if you don't pay your bills, you're homeless. If you don't have any income and you don't have anybody to support you, you're on your ass out on the street. And that's always digging at the back of you. And it's a very painful way to live, and we shouldn't have to live this way. And we won't. When this shift finally does arrive, I don't know when it's going to arrive, but when it does, one of the first things that's going to happen is the banks are going to go away. This idea of money, which is a completely arbitrary, made-up concept, will go away. That means the idea of debt will go away. The idea of having to work for a living will go away. You'll be able to just simply be yourself, because the truth is the earth gives us everything that we need. Think about the house that you live in, or the building that you live in. And if I ask you, how did that get built? You're going to go, well, some workers were paid, and, but stop there for a second. Think of all of the resources that built the house. The wood. I mean, where did the wood come from? Well, the wood was grown out of the ground. The earth did. So did somebody pay the earth money to make the wood? No. Wood came out of the ground. The majority of the wood that we have is growing naturally in forests. What happened? Some people went out there and cut the wood down and then cut it into, blocks of wood, and then now you have something to build the structure of the house with. But we don't think about a house. When we look at a house being built, the first thing we think of is how much money it cost. But the truth is, it didn't cost any money. Money is just something that people use to control people's actions and give you a feeling that you have control over resources. Somebody used some kind of force to own land to grow the crops, and then, you know what I mean? So if we get rid of all of that, people will do, the Amish do this all the time. They're going to build a house, or they're going to build a barn. The whole community comes together and builds it. There isn't any paid workers. They're there for each other. I'm not saying we should become Amish, but you get the point. So that's what's going to happen when this shift comes. People are going to just be able to take the resources that are just naturally given to you. The earth wants to give you all the resources that you need, and we'll be there to help each other. Nobody will ever be left out again. There's going to be no such thing as homelessness. There's going to be no such thing as people not being taken care of and part of a community. But until that, that time, we're going to have to face that self-evaluation within ourselves. And so I know some of you might be feeling disillusioned, and I know you might be wondering what happened, when is this thing going to come? But the test that we are living through right now is that all of the ways in which we used to feel like the system was working for us has been taken away. So I know for me, the light beings came and they said, we're going to take away, they called it a privilege. We're going to take away your privilege of being able to feel like you're part of the system and that it's taking care of you. And I can't now. When I look around at everything in the world and the way everything functions, I can see that it's all a made-up, arbitrary, nonsensical protocol that's designed to turn you into a slave. And so it's hard to even if I am successful, at the work that I do, it's hard to feel like that means I'm valuable. It doesn't mean that anymore. So you may be having those same feelings of either you don't feel like doing anything anymore, you may not feel like going and doing your job, you may not feel like going and studying. By the way, if I were to go back in time to my college age self, I would say don't waste your time. So I would definitely say that now. If you're going to college because you think that's going to give you the ability to have a career and give yourself value, my suggestion is find something that you're very passionate about. Go do that. Turn that into business. Don't try and become something in order to be able to fit into society. Anyway, the StarSeeds are feeling the darkness of the old 3D matrix, so my suggestion is just hang on. Keep doing the work. And whenever you feel that disillusionment, like you can't see into the future, what's coming for you, you don't know where you are, you don't know, what the world has in store for you. It's a little easier for me because I'm 60, I'm getting older. But, if I was 20, 30 years old, you're designed to want to see, where am I going to fit into this world? Where am I going to get my success? And it's getting harder and harder to do that because, the narrative is trying to set you up to live in a smart city and just do what you're told. So don't give up, and don't let that darkness take you down. The thing to do is to dig deep into your soul and find your value. One of the best ways to do that is to do the practices on this channel. Go to thunderwizard.com, subscribe to the Warrior 90-Day Lightning Qigong, or do any of the energy practices that will connect you not only to life force energy but to your soul, and use that. Do the meditations, do the interdimensional meditations, and if you need to, take advantage of the new stuff that's coming out, reversenarcabuse.com and the quantum shifting. Those are all designed to help you dig deep within yourself and find your soul, find your own love of yourself. Because ultimately that's all we're going to have, is the ability to find the divinity within. Nobody can give that to you. We can support each other and love each other. The light beings are doing everything they can to just shower us with love. But if you've noticed, if you're doing these higher dimensional meditations, that the love that they give you, it wears off almost as soon as you feel it. So it can't fix you. It's only designed to give you the motivation to keep doing the work within yourself, and that's what I give here. So I'm here to help anybody that's looking for it. Go to thunderwizard.com and you can subscribe as an apprentice. That means you'll work with me on a regular basis. I also recommend, if you're doing the live guided interdimensional meditations, which is every Wednesday and Friday at 8:30 p.m., be there if you can, or watch them as they're uploaded. If you're doing that and you're having intense experiences and you feel like you're kind of losing your mind, come here to the live Zoom class and discussion group. And you can be a part of that by subscribing at thunderwizard.com. And that is a really great way to share your experience with other people who are having the same experiences, and then you realize you're not making it up. When you're doing this by yourself, it's very difficult to hold on to that, because the narrative is constantly trying to talk you out of it. And if we come and we take care of each other, it's really important that we start making groups. And I recommend, and I encourage anybody who follows this channel, if you want to make a Thunder Wizard group in your hometown, getting together and talking about interdimensional meditation and doing the energy work, if you want to start your own, Qigong classes and use the stuff that I give, go ahead and do that. You can't use the same names that I do, because then you're my competition, but you can take, for instance, the Celestial Qigong, and if you want to call it Happiness Qigong and teach the exact same things and charge people money, go ahead and do that. Get this stuff out there. But anyway, let's find ways to come together. I'm constantly thinking about how I can keep creating ways to bring us together so that we can become a community that no longer needs to be part of the self-devaluation, narcissistic narrative. All right, I'm starting to babble, so I'm going to shut up now. That's it for me, my friends. I wish you all the best. Thank you so much for watching. And please remember that you are the most powerful being that has ever existed. You are the most beautiful being. You are the most amazing, lovable. You are God. Everything that people say about God is you. And you go deep into your heart, you will find your soul, and your soul is actually God. The deeper you get into your soul, you will look God directly in the face. And so please remember that that is who you are, and know that the entire multiverse was created so that you would have pleasure and find happiness. And please know that all of the energy that you put into giving yourself and your soul happiness actually helps all other conscious beings awaken. And if you do that, the gods themselves will bow down and worship you. And I bow down and worship your soul as well. And I thank you for creating me. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't exist, because you created the entire universe, including me and everything else in the universe. Please take that, hold on to it, and know that you are the most lovable being in existence. Having said that, I thank you for spending the time with me, and I look forward to seeing you all very soon. Until then, please take very good care of yourselves.